Welcome. I am the GameMaster. No matter your class, race, position in life, a fate greater than you and I has brought you here. This, to be exact. Predictably, your perception score is unable to show you more of this room. We are surrounded by an endless void of black. No, not black of a darkest night, just a nice black, such as the table you see before you, the various books, potions, cards, and accessories. These all your primitive mind is able to comprehend, as well as the significance of our meeting. The quest I have for you is deeply discouraging to many, and I only offer it to you should you accept the gravity of the consequences. Yes, there is power involved, is there not? But think not that you are the first whom I have offered it to. No, the mere knowledge of such existential things as you may encounter has driven many to insanity. I would suggest you take this as your one and only warning. The door lies behind you. If you take it now, you will awake in your bed with no knowledge of this encounter. Really? You have an unusually large fortitude score. That might do well. Very well. In any tavern, in any inn, in any town, in any country, the location never mattered, really. However, make sure your locale has a town fountain. For some arcane reason, it should increase your chances. Enter the inn with an air of calm confidence. Just be sure not to betray any fear. Upon entering the door, make a straight line to the front desk. Push any tables that may be out of your way, or people. The importance of the straight line is paramount, despite what obstacles might lie in your path. Talk directly to the proprietor and ask with no hint of greater awareness than the words themselves. I wish to see the holder of the dice. If the person's expression should change, then something has gone wrong, or perhaps the time was off. I would suggest you immediately exit the building and re-enter, hoping that events have reset themselves. If they have not, I would suggest you run as fast as your legs will take you. Bring not your companions with you, should you wish them to suffer an equally horrible fate. What you're looking for is for the proprietor to stand aside and say to you, "Walk this way." Immediately, jump the desk and keep your head low. The patrons of the establishment will immediately turn to face you, and should their eyes meet your person, well, it would be best if they had transmogrified into level 66 hellhounds with a great affinity for your flesh. No, sneak through the door that was indicated to you. Sneak well, and you will find yourself in the middle of a black void. All your possessions will have left your person, and you will be holding a single candle with a flickering, pure white flame. Take a moment to consider your position in this deep darkness, for you will need to feel which of the directions is best for you. There will be no indication of anything surrounding you. After a brief time of consideration, you will need to be sure of one thing besides, and that is keeping that single flame lit. For if it is to go out at any time, well, let's just say, you are likely to be eaten by a grue. As you pick your direction, keep in mind to always shield your flame from whatever winds might arise in this void, which will show up randomly and without abandon. Keeping that in mind, the wax from your candle shall slowly drip onto your hand, arm, chest, quite painfully. It will seem to sear through your clothes to get at your skin, and the pain will be substantial. In fact, you would do well to pause at times to be sure to remove the wax, lest it completely cover you, turning you into a near living statue, such as those just outside of your peripheral vision in this land of darkness. Speaking of those unfortunate souls who have been rooted in place and burned from the inside, although you cannot see them, the whispers and final emotions they had in their excruciating deaths will slowly through the winds reach your poor ears. As I said, it would be good for you to have an excessively good fortitude score, lest your will begin to break, you forget your own trials at hand. Do whatever means necessary to keep on your task. You might even consider one of their dying voices at a time, for to concentrate on one is, perhaps, to deal with the many. After a time in which time itself feels to have forgotten you through this grand tribulation, you will find yourself on an immense flat surface which seems to be invisible. Below you shall be all the lands from which you have visited, mapped out before you in sequence. You will have to have a mental map of the places you have been and in which order, in which to see the fault. For in the map before you, there will be one location out of place with the timeline of your life, and only by searching deep within your memories can you pick out which one it is. Head to that spot and will yourself downwards. Disconcertingly enough, rather than appearing where you expect to be, instead, you will find yourself in a dilapidated village, which appears to have not been used for an excessive amount of time. The wood of the buildings, in fact, will appear to be turning into dust before your very eyes. There will appear to be no sound, even from your feet upon the dirt. It will be as if you are in a sort of trance-like state. But do not lose yourself to this silence. The voices in your head very well may start to murmur about your despair in choosing to come this far. Search for a river in this place. Very well, maybe on the outskirts of town. Perhaps it is but a stream in a ditch. But in either case, no matter the appearance of the liquid, or the taste you instinctively know it will have, you will need to steel yourself. Cup your hands deeply and drink. Since your hands undoubtedly will not be able to hold much liquid, I warn you, no matter how long it will take, no matter the things that appear to live inside the liquid, as a point of fact, you will need to drink it exactly as much as has been in this jar. You may feel your senses slowly returning to you in horrifying detail, such as those parts of you that you don't normally sense, the backs of your eyes, the bits under your fingernails, the dirt that has been accumulating from your travels, which you were not previously aware of. All of these factors will come back to you one at a time, it will seem. Not that that makes them any easier to deal with, mind you. But after this experience, which hopefully your heart is still able to comprehend, including after you've felt every inch of it beating, still, I trust, vibrantly, you will feel like the universe around you is glowing. Head to the building which does not. It's impossible to find it if you hadn't the exact amount of liquid. The facade will slowly fall away, revealing that the village is in fact populated by stone gargoyles with hollow sockets in place of eyes. Now that you can see their outlines glowing, nod once to each statue that you can see, even those in the distance if you prefer. The point, of course, is that to not acknowledge their presence, which you can now sense, is, well, not only an extremely rude thing to do, but will undoubtedly incur the wrath of those guardians. Head into the chamber, which will appear nearly exactly as this one. Again, do not look into the face of your present company. I don't need to explain why. You will need to ask a question. A question that was lost to time, but which, if you are lucky, may just come to you. The question, of course, is why do we need games? The table will seem to shake in the holder that you seek, but do not shrink from the table, for to do so would undoubtedly be your downfall. No, you must remain sitting in audience as he explains in excruciating detail all the various mind twists and moving about of pawns that has begun in the universe since the beginning of time, how each move in fact mirrors, mimics, manifests itself in even the most mundane, everyday life, and how in fact all of us are playing or being played in one way or another each and every moment that passes. I'm not going to lie to you. Simply hearing this information may make your mind unhinge at the seams. Thankfully, however, if it does, this is not the end for you. The holder will, in fact, repurpose you to become perhaps one of the sentries outside the building to protect him for all time. Not a bad fate, mind you, but it's not one that I expect you actually had in mind. Now, you must sit and absorb all of this information. As damaging as it may be. Afterwards, upon seeing that you have succeeded, he will ask if you wish to join him in a game. The game will vary, but I might assume it is very much parallel to your own journey in life. No, not the game of life, mind you, with the cars and the pawns, but this one we are playing right now. You will need to have your mental faculties well prepared to remain relaxed and to focus for the coming trial. In fact, I shan't spoil the game itself. There may be a lot of pencil and paper used. It may be played with different dice, but through this final game with the holder, you will come to realize the universal truth that you need not win and need not lose, but you need play. As you sit, you will recognize this great truth in the universe, and upon doing so, eventually, once you have reached that point, the holder will lift up his head and present to you with open hand a D20. Take it from him. Feel free to roll it once or twice. You will find that for you, it tends to roll the 20 right when you need it to. In fact, if you consider what rolling a critical hit means, you will find that that is exactly how it will function. Should you need an excessive amount of diplomacy to get yourself out of a situation, rolling the dice will enable you to succeed miraculously on command. Should you be battling a difficult foe, you will find that you immediately have struck its weak point for a fatal finish. Should you find yourself in a cavern of wonders, by rolling the dice, perhaps, you will miraculously have found that which will get you an escape. Find the one artifact that was not rigged to blow up the rest of the cave. That dice is object number 640 out of 2,538. It was cast through the dimensions to end up here in order to prevent the objects from coming together. Perhaps through your strength of will you may take it with you. Of course, I, the GameMaster, will remain here, because despite my omnipotence, I don't want to be around when they come together.